2, 1, play.
All right.
All right.
So,
Sorry about that, guys.
how do I sound?
XSplit might have crashed. Hopefully that fixed everything up. Okay, we're good. XSplit just went absolutely crazy on me there.
Okay. Just like, you know what? I've been pretty good. Had some hiccups at the beginning. I'm just
Oh
gonna go
no!
crazy now.
Double Fairy Charm.
Ooh, this is not way back when.
Yeah. Double Fairy Charm's the best. Hopefully everything's still running fine.
Oh, we actually have an engagement coming out. Hi, walks into the team.
Yeah,
Can he get
Naya
away?
got him in good position. Nice flash around the corner there. Gets him away. Elimination's still a little bit of trouble. Naya goes a little bit too low to continue this fight as Nian comes in to run out the front. Sneaky Castro getting caught out. And that Demacian standard going to keep oRb from engaging. I almost peed a little, man. That was terrifying.
What the hell is Elimination doing? Now, I have follow-up to that. Look at his first skill.
Elimination's first skill. Start
Yeah.
call.
What the hell?
AP elimination mid.
Yeah. I'd say he's going mid, but they have Morgana who's going mid. And is that Morgana against Jarvan mid lane? No, Jarvan will just roam towards top.
He may have just overreacted to catching them out.
Yeah.
And,
Well, normally
and thought, okay, I don't have my skill yet. I'm going to get Star Call and I'm going to go for it.
normally you want either Infuse to just interrupt a flash or heal to keep someone alive. And I like this. Absolution is coming right back into the jungle. Just going to be like, screw it. We may have fought before, but you don't think we'll come in again. And Orbit doesn't.
Yeah. Either way. So, they're going to make their way in. Nobody really taking the worst of it. High going to pick up Wraith Farm there and then head his way on over to red while the slow work towards blue gets started up here for Absolute Legends. They're going to get that cracking. Drops the standard out front to check the bush, and then comes Absolute Legend to put a lot of help down. J-Pack going to start backing. And Josh going to go to town. Naya on the way to lane, so is Kiko. Corky already down there for Sneaky Castro. He's up against Elimination, who doesn't have a friend on lane just yet. Yeah, there we go. There's Nian.
I do wonder what's up with that pickup. Nian actually does have a bit of experience from the jungle, so I think he might have mooched a bit from high just to help himself keep in. But I really wonder about the Star Call pickup. Oh well, we'll see if they can use it. That damage will be nice.
Yeah, certainly a way to dissuade Sneaky Castro. Just like, just a little extra damage every time I poke out of range. Elimination now. Level 2, picks up Infuse, and everything's back on track. That level 1, not, it's always nice to go ahead and get the heal at level 1, but you get to level 2 fast enough usually. Yeah.
It's not like we're 4 minutes in, there's 0-10 in the bot lane. It's like, I wish we'd had the Infuse, or the Blessing.
Sneaky Castro going to take a banana. The shield going to help out, but another health potion gets burned, and that's his first health potion. There we go. Going to be hurting for that lack of sustain, man. Anytime you're on lane against Soraka, you could just feel it. Feel it burning into you. That stuff sticks a lot more, so you really got to avoid taking those shots and let those shields help you get everything back into shape.
I do wonder what skill Elimination is going to take second, just because he has the option for Infuse. Nian actually uses a lot of mana with the way he plays Graves, so you'll want that. But, I don't know. And lanes overall being fairly passive. Jarvan did go mid lane, did not actually get the gank off. No flash was blown either. So, the jungling seems to be going fine. Orb High, doing very well in the jungle himself. They're both level 3, and no pressure coming out from High himself because of that blue buff steal.
Elimination grabbing Infuse for that third skill, just like you had mentioned there, and just going to help make sure that Nian can pop Buckshot pretty much whenever he feels like he can really eat through that mana quick with Graves. And it's one of those things where it makes it really hard to push up against him, especially with a lack of sustain, like you're going to see on Janna. Naya kind of playing it back, a little bit concerned down bottom. Looks like Sneaky Castro going to get himself into a little bit of trouble as he tries to take out Elimination. Can he get out of here? J-Pack now the one that's in danger. Gets through the shield, but Nian with the exhaust on. Not able to finish the job. Elimination going to be forced to heal himself. He comes very close to dying. Josh getting a little low in the jungle here as he picks up red.
Now, and as it happened, it was 3 summoner spells burned for 1, so they're set up where Nautilus can eventually come back, especially if we see a Vision Ward come out from Elimination. Will he pick it up? No, he's still trying to adjust to
Oh! Josh goes down to the golems.
God.
Couldn't do it. Corky with an immediate lull.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, that's just funny. Oops. Oops.
Feels good, and we were watching the whole time. So he doesn't get to pretend that one was an accident later. He just kept going. Yasuki getting poked on by Kiko. Going to be down to about half health. Overheats, and can't get him out of there. Drops the ignite. Yasuki got the potion burning and plenty of health to make it through with the transfuse, but Kiko looking pretty dangerous up there, man.
Rumble just has that sustained damage, and right now Vladimir does not have enough sustain. Even though it's Vladimir, early on his sustain is kind of crappy. I mean, 27 HP per cast, it's not enough.
Yeah. Unless you basically, whoever you're laning against wants to go nice and passive Morgana roaming up, but Kiko going to go ahead and back, and that's going to be the end of that call as he gets out of range. A little bit too early to justify the continued sojourn top ways.
Will High be able to take on the golems that viciously slayed Josh?
He's going to have trouble with them. Those golems got a lot of damage output.
They've already taken one champion. Can they take a second?
Josh still up a level on him. Nubby Pooh Bear going to eat up a whole lot of damage. Gets the stun down. Not quite enough for the dive just yet. Naya decides to get enough for the dive. Manages to pick it up in egg mode. I don't think he...
Will he get a kill? Nope.
No, yeah, executed there. Just doesn't get any damage down on it. So, a good trade overall. That's what we basically had to wait to see what happens with the egg. And, nicely done there, really, by Naya. No, assuming he knew he couldn't shut it down before any damage came down from Morgana. That could have just been a straight-up trade.
Well, actually, with Anivia's high range, actually some pressure coming out from the bot lane. Yen taking a lot of damage in response. The Ignite was up.
Corky's going to get it. The heal is just enough as Sneaky Caster can't finish it up. Yen just going way low right there. And that was Summoner heal as well. Just barely kept him alive.
Really, really just on the edge exchange. Not a lot of mana for Corky. He can't Valkyrie forward. He can't play too aggressive. And the Phosphorus Bomb is 100 mana, so they know they're safe, but man, that is just terrifying to be at the edge like that.
Yeah, heal got him back into shape, though, so now Nian will be able to exert a little bit of pressure back the other direction. Looks like Absolute Legends. Bot lane just going to leave, and going to be a bit of a forward to center, more or less a lane reset, though, for oRb. While they poke their way forward and see if they can't get things swinging in the direction they like. Only 300 gold difference here for 7 minutes 45 seconds. Yasuki gonna have to hang out in that ult for a little while, and Kiko finally makes good on that all game long harass he's been trying to get done. The Cannoneer minion putting some good damage down though, and Kiko gonna be able to back safely as he finishes off that nasty cannon minion.
And something, I don't know, fun about Rumble. He's massive. He has a huge hitbox, and you do not actually want to take skill shots as Rumble because he is a squishy AP character who has to get in close range. It's a fun little fun fact about Rumble. I hate it.
You hate large hitboxes.
I hate large hitboxes on squishy characters. It's like Anivia actually has the same problem.
Just misses a binding. Out comes Josh out of nowhere, and Pooh Bear just gonna have to stand there and die. I saw him wiggling around the edge, trying desperately to get out, and it was maybe the saddest thing I've ever seen. Couldn't get himself out of that little volcano that pops up. A nice gank by Josh, very patient about it, and just waits for Morg to start heading back. Grabs her, just thought she was going to be able to get away. Poor Morgana.
I mean, really, just to put it in perspective, like, Jarvan's like, alright, she blew the binding, I'm just going to go ahead and use a colloquialism, I'm just going to get up all in that.
Yeah.
So you flash forward. You covered so much distance in about no time. It was like 0 seconds passed, and you covered like 1,000 distance.
And all of a sudden, yeah, you're inside.
You're in the Jarvan pit. No one wants to be in the Jarvan pit.
Yeah. Not even Jarvan wants to be in the Jarvan. It smells bad in there. He never washes it out.
Yeah. You think the wall just come out with the ground? No, it's actually like a little house.
Yeah, it's a little house. It is underground. It's a special League of Legends house. They give it over to him for the league. And Sneaky Castro going to be forced back. Star Call, help elimination, affect a little bit of aggression, but it looks like Absolute Legends not convinced that they're going to need to be pushed any farther back than they end up going. Not really giving up any position right there. 1k gold lead for Absolute Legends as they're looking pretty good at the start of this one. Kiko in a little bit of trouble up top, but gets some help from Naya, and that's going to turn him around. Wall comes down on the wrong side there. Back down bot lane, Graves gets picked up by Sneaky Castro. Elimination now going to just have to flash out of there super early as they made a move on J-Pack and couldn't finish the job. Naya now in trouble as High, and Yazuki gets some damage. Never mind that, High taking a ton of damage there. And Kiko going to turn it around. Nubby Pooh Bear not able to get anything done, and Josh comes in to support. In case they decide to move forward, there's a ward in that bush, so oRb's going to know that Josh is over there and just disengage this one. Nothing ends up coming at the aggression top, but wow, it looked bad for Naya, and then all of a sudden, Nautilus's poor face just kind of cracked open.
It's like, wait, they're killing him instead of dying. How odd. And it's a 0-4 10 minutes in the game, or 11 minutes in the game. This is actually kind of scary for oRb. I mean, the enemy team does not have a weak late game. They have Anivia, they have Corki. That's all you need for a late game. Is Naya actually catches out High, saves him with the wall, decides, you know what, you should just go home on your own right now.
Yeah, Nubby Pooh Bear going to come through. Naya in such a weird position, trying to get High to come out. J-Pack comes through. He's going to get a little look at Nubby Pooh Bear in the bush to the side. Naya going to flash over as Graves tries to come in. Nubby Pooh Bear going to make it out safe. Naya into egg form with no help whatsoever. In comes Corky to try to protect the egg. Protect the egg! They can't do it. Graves picks up the kill. The assists out to Nautilus, Soraka, and Morgana. As poor Naya just... for as long as he made it through in what was really a horrible, horrible position, kudos out to Naya for that one, but can't quite make it out of there. As oRb gets their coordination together and gets themselves a little point on the board. 1,200 gold difference now.
That was actually really cool. They were just waiting for Naya to flash forward and be out of position. They knew he wanted to get across that wall, that he would once the pressure showed up.
Yeah. And with Graves coming up from the bottom, it was either that or die. Kind of a checkmate scenario there for Naya. J-Pack in to help out. Nice ult to try to keep the egg alive, but Corky a little too slow coming up, and Jarvan nowhere to be found.
Have you seen this, Prince?
Yeah.
I have to say, though, the mid-game looking really good for Absolute Legend, especially with that Jarvan ultimate to help support Anivia. They don't have a lot of hard CC. They have a lot of, like, very brief, for example, the knockup from Janna, the knockup from Jarvan. But they have a lot of slow. They have... pretty much slows on everybody, actually, except for Corky.
Yeah, and a lot of ability to sort of force position as well. The wall, Jarvan ult, and the Janna ult as well.
And actually, even like its own kind of a wall, the Rumble ult.
Yeah.
It has High, he's just gonna die. He's just gonna get blown up here.
Oh, he gets knocked over the wall. They can't do anything with it.
Fun fact, knockups actually move you a tiny bit. I've seen this actually affect ganks negatively. But for the most part, a knockup will move you a little bit. Sometimes enough to, send you over that wall, for example. Or bug you up by sending you into a wall.
Absolute Legends now with a free pickup on Dragon. No contest from oRb. That's going to put him out 3,000 gold here at the 13-minute mark. 5 kills to 1. Absolute Legends looking strong, where they faltered a little bit the last game. Heals coming down from elimination. But again, Absolute Legends starting to feel pretty comfortable in this bot lane. J-Pack taking a lot of damage. The Valkyrie over to try to get better position. Gets the heal down. Knee in. Does not make it out, sadly. J-Pack in a lot of trouble. Elimination. Nice ult from J-Pack right there. The heal comes back from elimination to get him back in it. But really, really nice 2 ults that I've seen that are absolutely beautiful right there at it. J-Pack he's doing a really good job. Keeps himself alive and forces Soraka out of that fight completely.
He was just looking really solid on the Janna. I'm loving his Janna play. Yeah. We have Nautilus bottom, but without Graves' support, he's just going to go ahead, farm it up, eat up all the CS he can. A little bit behind Jarvan right now, actually, so trying to keep up. Jarvan actually a full level ahead of him, so never mind that little bit behind part. And top lane is the only lane not going super well right now for Absolute Legends. The mid is devastating. The bottom is just terrifying right now. But Kiko... Oh, wait, no. That lane is going well for Absolute Legends. I was confused the teams for a second.
Yeah.
Wow, that lane's going really well for Absolute Legends.
Yeah,
never mind.
Kiko's been bullying Yazuki pretty much all game long. And Yazuki trying to find some hurt to put on. Looks like we're going to have Morgana come into the area, but... with Kiko backing it up a little. Not going to pay off immediately. Going to come sliding up. Kiko playing it fairly safe. He's been hyper-aggressive up top, so this might work out. Nubby Pooh Bear just hanging out down low a little bit. If Kiko is going to follow, going to try and get the binding down, doesn't do it. The ult comes off for Yazuki. Kiko going to answer back with an ult, and the Morgana ult lands. Nubby Pooh Bear going to be able to finish it off with an assist for Vlad. Yazuki doesn't make it out, if just barely. Josh running around now with oracles on Jarvan.
The map coverage right now for oRb, it's actually pretty weak. They only have one. They have 2 wards down. One in case Jarvan tries to come around from the back and actually gank Vladimir, which shows how safe they want to play right now. Right now, actually, AL themselves don't have a lot of map coverage, but they have the entrances they want covered. Of course, Morgana coming to that top lane, there was really no way for them to catch them unless they put like a very, very Dota-style ward in between the turrets, which you do not see in League of Legends.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward spot. High going to try and get away from this one, but with pretty much everybody from Absolute Legends in the area. Nice ult by J-Pack, going to force a split there. Nian going to slide through the ult immediately. Josh with a very quick reaction there to turn it back the other way, and this 4-man gank's only going to get 1. So nicely handled by both sides as oRb manages to get themselves away from that one, and J-Pack's split doesn't cost them another death.
I have to say that was actually a great aggressive Janna ultimate. That was just cool. We've seen the defensive Janna ultimates saving himself, trying to save Naya, not being successful that time, but doing decently. And that was just, I'm going to flash into you guys and just mess up your positioning. No way you can fight back. They did pick up high in the end, but it also meant that there was no way Nian and Elimination could turn around at all.
Yeah, they were going to have to at least wait till after high was done and then hope for the best. Sneaky Castro playing it way out front, gets a little look at Morgana, and he's going to Valkyrie out of there.
So I do like that tried this gank from Morgana twice. They have to stop it though. Now that they've seen this happen twice, we're not going to see any sort of a situation where they're up at the tower with Morgana missing again. Just because they know she's done it once, she's done it twice, she will do it a third time if she wants to.
Yeah, unless Morgana dies or backs naturally and they sort of lose track of her for a couple seconds, it's going to be a very hard one to slide in. Nian just going to be forced to take a whole bunch of damage off of Sneaky Castro. Sneaky Castro operating without a support. Finally gets
in the mid lane, actually, Naya getting cut out by Nubby Pooh Bear and High. In that egg form, does he have the HP? His flash is down, but I think his wall might still be up.
Back up, and he's going to immediately drop some damage. Naya with Josh right over the corner. Makes good on that one, but the binding lands, and Josh not going to be able to finish up. Nubby Pooh Bear going to be forced back behind mid-turret. Rumble was making his way down. Elimination gets picked up with a lovely skill shot right there from Sneaky Castro. J-Pack with another nice ult to keep Niantoso on the far side and gets a pickup with a wonderful shield on the other side of that ult to make sure Sneaky Castro makes good on a 2-for-none trade bot as Naya goes down mid. Rumble a little too slow making his way to mid.
And I don't know if you saw Nian's message of the messages, but he missed his ultimate. He just missed his Graves ultimate. It was not hard, like it was not a weird juke. It was just Castro walking on by, and I think he's playing on tilt right now. The emotions hitting him. This is a game that he will be eliminated from this tournament if he loses. Well, not if he loses, but if his team loses.
Yeah.
And I think it's hitting him because that wasn't, you did a great juke. That was a great play. No, it was I missed an ultimate. I made a mistake myself.
Yeah,
and
Niantoso
is a great player. And that's just not a mistake you see from him. It's just such a basic mistake.
Still only about a 4,000 gold difference, though. Nothing insurmountable here if oRb can keep their teamwork together. But again, Absolute Legends looking much more like the team we saw in the first game, who really started to roll away with it as the mid-game wore on, once they started getting a couple towers down. Still in the laning phase here as Absolute Legends is in control of that one and happy to be in control of the laning phase. Don't want to push any of those towers down, and oRb spent most of their time more or less pushed to tower.
They have tried to take advantage of that with some of the ganks. Mid-turret will go down, though. So that gold lead growing a bit. Dragon has just respawned. I expect to see a fight coming out from AL there. A good Morgana ult could be huge here. Does he have Zhonya's? Not quite yet, so it's going to be kind of risky, but I feel they can do something here. It's just going to be a good play has to come out from them.
Going to pull Dragon out of the pit and get it into pretty much the best position you can. Wall comes up to try to dissuade the smite. Smite comes down from Josh, and good time to start up. Yazuki drops in to try to get some initial damage done on that one. Kiko going to follow it down. He is at low health. He's going to get taken out by Graves as Nautilus picks up Jarvan. Now Sneaky Castro gets pulled out. J-Pack in a lot of trouble. Gonna hope the tornado's enough to keep him from following through, and they do. So gonna trade a dragon pickup for kills on Jarvan. And oh, Sneaky Castro, what were you thinking? The snare down, but he is gonna be able to get out as oRb doesn't have enough damage in the immediate vicinity to finish that one up. In the end, just not close enough to help pick up that kill, and blue buff's gonna go over to oRb as well. Closes down the gap just a touch. But still a nice little lead there for Absolute Legends with the Dragon pickup as they go 2 for none in that team fight after Dragon.
And that is how Orbit needs to fight. That right there was a good example of what they can do. So they have just the AoE cluster. They just ignore the control with their flashes. Actually, no flashes used except for Yuzuki's. But they were able to get into the enemy team using Hai's ultimate. The Rumble ultimate didn't really stop anything, unfortunately, so they just kind of ignored that. And the Wall and Jarvan just didn't do enough to stop them. So if they can go ahead and position themselves well so they can just ignore some of the control coming out from AL, they can win fights.
Kiko just going to come make his move straight onto Yazuki, just completely pretty much ignoring him, but they're still trading fairly even as Yazuki started to get himself pretty well beefed up. The ult comes out, and Yazuki got to go a little bit low. In comes J-Pack to help out just a touch, and Josh going to follow it up. Means that one's going to turn into a 3-man money-paying kill right there with Rumble locking it down. Naya trying to make his way up, misses the binding, and with Josh coming down, they'll be able to turn that one around. Nubby makes it out. Will he continue the escape? Naya going to get caught out by Hai, and that turns him around. Going to allow Morgana to escape, flash over the wall, and Hai will not make good his escape as Anivia's flash pays dividends. Morgana will get out of there, though, so a tank in exchange for an AP carry, not a bad trade at the end of the day for oRb, but not one that they can keep affording to make, as that lead is starting to get pretty significant for Absolute Legends.
And of course, 2 flashes blown, a lot of just, the initiation that they need is gone, and of course, Vladimir died right before this, so it was once a catch onto Anivia being out of position turned into an extra kill after an already bad situation. So that goal difference now about 7,000, so it is growing steadily. Bottom turret has fallen, all the outer turrets are gone for Orbit, and of course AL happily still have their own. The Dragon, by the way, did go to Absolute Legend in that fight. The smite was missed by a High. He was about a half second, maybe less than that, too early, which is how close those Dragon smites can be. But right now, I mean, if AL keep control of the map, if they keep decent vision and, keep getting good catches like that, they will eventually be able to ignore just the AoE cluster coming out of Orbit. But eventually you just get too tanky, and you start getting Quicksilver Sashes, and Anivia, who's building aggressive Anivia. Normally we see lots of crazy things like Tears and Warmogs on Anivia. Anivia hurts right now.
Yeah. And just really, I mean, Absolute Legends' ability to split and to force position.
Oh, actually, Elimination getting caught by Naya right now.
Gonna get that spell shield. It's gonna allow him out the other side. Naya ends up in the binding, but outside of the tormented soil, so not gonna take too much damage there. Nothing too terribly scary, but that's just exactly what I was saying. Tanso in a little bit of trouble down bottom. He's gonna be able to hang out close enough in there. Hai now gonna get picked off by Naya and take a little bit of damage. He gets healed back up, and top outer goes down to Vlad as the push comes in on bot inner turret. Vlad going to continue pushing. Looks like Josh is headed that direction to try to rectify the situation. Vlad going to be backing from the looks of his position top side. Going to get bot inner without a problem. Yeah. Then just clean up the jungle. But as I was saying, Absolute Legends very much able to force position around the map. That wall, the Janna ult, and Jarvan. Again, and like you said, what is essentially a wall out of Kiko, not something you want to stand on, can really draw a line in the sand. Of course, in a team fight, you're going to be more willing to ignore that and jump across that ult or just absolutely disengage. But a lot of ability to control when engages happen for Absolute Legends if they so choose. Oracle's Elixir out on Nautilus and Janna both.
So the only person who can't start a fight on AL is going to be Corki, which is almost always the case unless Ashe is your AD carry. And of course, Janna herself can always throw in a tornado, do a very cool flash ultimate, though that is risky when it's your initiation.
Yeah.
But still, the idea is there. AL can start a fight however they please. They just, wall you off, Jarvan you off, rumble you off. You're a million miles away, a rumble ult rocket hits you, you are slowed, a wall blocks your passage, there's a flying man just diving on top of you, you scream, you die.
Yeah, it's not a good way to go. to say
No,
the
not
least.
very unpleasant. Well, I guess there are worse ways.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm reminded of Amelie right
most of
now.
them involve scorpions.
Have you seen Amelie?
No.
Oh, okay. There's a scene where it's like the mother prayed for a baby, and instead she got this one woman committing suicide who landed on top of her outside the church. It's a great movie.
Yeah,
But
I've been meaning to watch it, but it's one of those like, oh, it's a classic, and I'm like, cool, I'll watch it. But it's just like,
yeah.
those movies like Citizen Kane. It took forever to get around to Citizen.
Well, I mean, Amelie's only from like 2003
Yeah,
or
but it's
something.
still
It's a
considered a
stretch.
classic.
It is such a good movie. Shouts to Amelie.
Yeah, shouts to Amelie and Audrey Tautou. That's we roll that way to esports. So,
Word up.
So deal with it. What's up? Absolute Legends just sort of doing spring cleaning around the map right now. They've got 4 towers down to the 1 top outer. Their only dead tower, and every outer tower down in favor of Absolute Legends. So they're pretty much controlling the pace of the game for the moment. Dragons up. Will they start up on it? There's a ward in there, so it looks like they're going to turn around and start themselves a fight. High getting caught out again. Josh decides that he wants to go over onto Elimination and Nian. He's going to back out pretty much immediately. J-Pack goes low once again, and this one could still pretty much go either way. Vlad's out of the fight now, and that's definitely a problem. High going to get caught out. Kiko's super low, as is J-Pack, and a double kill right there as Corky gets a pickup. Rumble goes down, and very even fight in general. Nian's going to go down to Naya with the triple kill. On to Corky, can sneaky caster and finish off High. He says, I want it, I don't even care. Doesn't finish it off. But Absolute Legends still going to get Dragon as they trade 3 for 4. Josh and Naya going to go to town. That was ridiculous, and he knew it.
Yeah, that was such a dumb. Like that was just outright a bad play.
He knew.
He got
He knew
too
it.
into the moment,
Yeah.
but now it's still no. It
Don't know why I did that.
7,000 gold.
Caster.
Yeah.
Oh.
7,000 gold lead in favor of Absolute Legends after that dragon
7.5,
pickup. That was a
yeah.
weird fight. So
It was.
JPEG kind of walked into the enemy team. There was a good reason for that. He wanted them to not attack Naya. Naya got egged right outside the enemy team, but not quite in them. So if he was able to distract them for just a brief second, that was enough for Naya to come back and clean out the fight. That ended up being a 4 for 3 exchange in favor of AL.
Yeah.
It would have been a 4 for 2, but
Oh no. Drop the word right by
Cast was
JPEG.
dumb.
Yeah, and he even said, I don't know why I did that. Really, when you feel the kill and you've got yourself a lead, you make silly decisions. Hopefully he's got that under control now.
And it's a rush of blood to the head. It's
Yeah.
like, I gotta do it.
That itchy trigger
Adrenaline's running,
finger.
but it was not.
I can kill this Nautilus. I know he has a shield, but I can get through it if I believe. He believed. And that's what you got to do to play League of Legends.
What you gonna do when they come? You gotta believe.
So 4 Orbeez in a bush. Sounds like British snack.
Orbeez in a bush. That
Yeah,
could
4
be a band.
Orbeez in a bush. Yeah.
But Kiko might just die here, actually.
Yeah,
Let's
he
see.
is. Yeah, playing a very dangerous game right there. He's going to get out of town as everybody turns around and starts making their way towards him. Now you're going to head back. He goes saying, you know what, that's probably... I don't know where anybody else is. Maybe I shouldn't go down into a bush. Generally a good bit of life advice, even if you're not playing League of Legends.
Yep. Oh, by the way, actually something else from that last fight, I just want to mention it really quickly. High was going to use his hook to go in, the dredge line, but JPEG got the perfect tornado and actually blocked it. So JPEG, by the way, has been playing amazingly this game. Like, my god, he is doing so well as a support.
Yeah, really beautiful play. High going to pull over the cannon minion. Says he can't wait for it to get in, for him to get the kill down. Pretty good war clearing. They do have one over on the other side. JPEG going to clear it up now. The rest of the team comes in. Tornado across. And High DCs. Really quick disconnect there, so no pause comes out.
I think they paused the game, but it didn't seem to work.
Everybody stood still for a second.
Yeah, and then like a bunch of messages popped up. That's odd. But oh, it's because we were
Oh,
behind.
right. So
Yeah.
we're even closer to being back in line than we were because of the pause earlier.
We're a few seconds behind the live time due to the XSplit shenanigans that we had to deal with before this game started.
Yeah. But don't you worry.
Because every little thing
Yeah.
is going to be all right.
everything. Sorry.
Well, actually, for one team, it won't be all right now.
Oh, no, they managed to catch High out. Can they make good on it? Elimination and High both absolutely exploded. They managed to finish off the kill on High. Jarvan gets taken down there by Vladimir. J-Pack going to make his way out. Can't quite get away. And where did this oRb team come from? Good Lord, sir. Naya now in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't want to engage. Elimination doesn't want to engage too much. Nian over the wall. And there's the ace for Nian Tanso. Get themselves back into it, trying to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They've certainly got plenty of time to do it. J-Pack with 20 seconds here, so mid, outer, and inner in danger of going down. But since they haven't managed to capturing primary objectives, they have a whole lot of work to do here. And with Nian headed up to pick up red instead of a turret, luckily he got through that pretty quickly. Not going to cost him too much.
He could try and take down this outer turret if he spends too much time up here and they know he has to retreat. Actually, no, he's full on men and has blue buff, so he does not need to retreat at any point, or full on HP.
Yeah, just
the Baron could have come out, but, you know, he's fine. That was an odd engagement, because most engagements in this game are weird because no one understands what happens, even when you watch it in slow motion.
Yeah.
They blew a lot to kill High and damage elimination at the start of the fight. It wasn't enough. They just did not get the kill. So with that happening, all of a sudden we had Navi Pooh Bear show up, Yuzuki show up, and Yin show up. And they're like, we have R buttons? Let's press the R buttons. And they pressed the R buttons, and then everybody died on AL. Rumble's super squishy. Josh is actually not tanky himself either, even with that mallet and Heart of Gold. Doesn't have a lot of mitigation. So they played well. Like, they lost High. They took a lot of damage elimination, but they pressed the right buttons, which was ultimates. And just with that group fight and the lack of control because it all been used on other people already, it was just an easy kill and cleanup for Orbit.
Yeah, elimination really managed to get out of there and help keep a little of the sustain alive. Kiko going to get out with the depth charge. It's going to happen 9 miles out front. The hook lands. Kiko going to drop his ult just to try to buy a little bit of time, but with 5 there, nothing Absolute Legends can do. They're just going to lose Rumble in that one. Josh going to make his way over the wall, and Absolute Legends going to get away scot-free. oRb with an opportunity to take a look at Baron, but Absolute Legends still sniffing around in the area. It doesn't look like they're quite confident enough to try to make that move just yet.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Kiko just a little bit too out of position. And Rumble does have that problem where he just has to go in so much. He's having trouble getting into a fight at the right time. If you watch Rumble, he shows up and he kind of dies. He has to actually get in later, but if he shows up too late into the fight, then they will lose a fight because it's a lot of damage of not going down, because Rumble actually really puts out a lot of damage. You can just key right now, it's at about 243 damage a second, factoring in overheating. That's going to be about, I don't know, let's just say 300. So about 900 damage.
Understood. It's a million damage. 4K gold lead still for Absolute Legends. They're going to extend it a little bit more as they're making a move on Dragon.
But
or very split up. Didn't really press an advantage for having Kiko down. They're playing very, very... I don't know if it's cautious or if it goes a little bit beyond that. Wall going to stop Yuzuki from getting out. He's forced to burn his flash to get over that. Keep himself alive.
J-Pack actually using his Reverie, but not able to fit in between the wall. Janna, just, I guess, too fat. Sorry, Janna.
Needs to lose a little bit of that weight, man. She's very hippie.
She needs to be just literally bones. Just a pile of floating bones.
She really does. She's so light, she makes everybody around her move faster, but she's just a little too fat.
A little too chunky. But, besides, I don't even know if I want to say horrible sexism, just horrible body image comments, but they did blow that flash. They need to find a good engagement. They need to find a way to actually use their control, because what they're doing now, I think they're just overcommitting. Like, they got that pick onto High, and they chased, and they got ulted and blown up before. They can do the same thing where they just, get a pick and then back off and then get another pick with their walls, with their skills. They can do a lot. But right now, Baron is a big worry. Orbit trying to bait it out, but AL just not caring. It's like, whatever, you can be doing Baron. We have no idea, and we don't care.
Yeah. You guys can come out with Baron. That's going to pretty much even things up. Naya disconnects. Oh, what unfortunate timing for oRb just as they start a Baron. Literally, like the second they started up Baron, going to drop the pause in there. And the pause, actually, you can see, has gone on for a couple of minutes here. So Naya clearly with some serious problems as we're caught up now.
Who are you watching, by the way? Like, what character do you have selected?
At this moment, Soraka.
Okay, I have Morgana selected. Her cooldown's like freaking out. I love it. I love like how it just kind of bugs out. It's like 666 repeating over and over. Like it doesn't change the seconds, but you see the bar freaking out.
It's just going wiggly jiggly.
So
Naya back in after 2 minutes or so of a disconnect.
Come on.
Looks like everybody's ready. I like that it skips the pause if you don't catch up to real time. Play will resume and Baron will continue to be picked up here. No real read off of Absolute Legends on this one, so oRb with what's looking very much like a free Baron. They've got time if they make it in there. J-Pack going to get a ward down just in time to see Baron finish up. They're going to blow it up. J-Pack playing a very dangerous game over the edge of that wall, picking up that ward. oRb getting Baron, and now going to finally be able to apply some pressure to these primary objectives. Sneaky Castro going to try and put down what he can. Anchor going to miss short. In come the creep waves, and it's going to be a little dance of love. Naya taking a ton of damage here early on. The smoke grenade going to get Naya out the back, and we restart the dance.
The dance, the poke, which is totally in favor of Orbit right now. High throwing out a hook. Don't know if that would have been the best idea, but he is incredibly tanky right now.
Naya getting that wall, making sure to put it to good use. Great lane clearing as well, keeping oRb's ability to poke to a minimum, so they may readjust here. It looks like they want to head for Dragon, give up bot lane, leave Yazuki and High there to do the dirty work of keeping the lane in check. Gonna have to go clean up bot lane and maybe get that one pushed back in the right direction, at least get themselves an outer turret, since Absolute Legends clearing the lane a little bit too quick for them to make a concerted push. On mid-inner, just going to have to poke it to death, basically.
They can push against Anivia. She doesn't have a lot of mana regeneration because she went for a more standard AP caster build, rather than the crazy, like, I have a tier, an Archangels, a Chalice, and, like, 2 Warmogs. But she doesn't have a lot of mana, so they can keep pushing at the turret and eventually drain her. They have to make sure the blue buff does not go to Anivia. But with this Baron buff, they can apply a lot of pressure. They're looking really good, and I feel that it's going to be something we've seen before, where a team will be behind, they'll get ahead, and once they're ahead, they don't get stopped.
Yep.
Like, something is wrong with Ale with how they're playing the matchup for them to...
Now I can tell my headset decided to just spaz out on me. Sorry if I interrupted you. So I'm going to need you to hang on and solo cast. I'm going to leave it on directed camera while I try and get my headset fixed up. Could take me a couple of minutes here.
Okay, so I will just be casting the solo then. Let's see. So they're going to try and secure the blue buff for Naya. They have the timing. It is up. There are pings coming out from Orbit, but it looks like they will not be there in time. Naya grabs it, and if they can catch people coming back in, the Reverie was popped, but a good ward. Keeps that vision. Pooh takes a bit of damage, as well as High from a Q from Anivia. They're just trying to, get some zoning, get something done. They're very scared to push. That top lane, by the way, has a big old creep wave hovering around it that is going to be denied to Orbit when they go for this push. So even though they're going to lose this turret, a lot of damage being done to that top turret. I can tell you one right now. It's at about 2,000 HP, but they do get that bottom turret. They're just going to keep pushing forward. We could have a base race scenario, which Orbit was actually scared of for a second. They're just going to go ahead and retreat. Yeah, that was actually almost an attempt at a base race. We see Ale pushing out like crazy now. The Baron buff still has a good, I'd say, 20 or so seconds, so Ale can't be too aggressive, but it's actually a really good pick from Ale. They saw that turret was pushing up, they're like, alright, we can take that turret if they try and base race us. We don't think they're confident enough to actually do it. So they grabbed it, they're going to grab that turret, they grabbed mid-turret. So they actually picked out 2 turrets while the enemy team has Baron, but they're trying to converge on them. Not successful right now. It's a very odd dance, and Orbit just kind of came up from behind just because Ale did something really weird by going for 2 turrets. It's like you never see people push out when the enemy has Baron buff. It's not safe. You're not likely to win a fight, but they did it, and it was worth it in the end. Baron's actually about to fall off, so we might see an engagement come out from AL. But they will back off once Baron is gone. No reason to be in there taking those risks. So the push is still there. They actually decide to go for it. We're going for blue buff. This is a 4v5, so AL can actually start a fight here, and they should be successful. Morgana actually a key part of the engagements. They need her for that ultimate, for that zone use, just to do her thing, and just bust out the CCA control. As right now, Wombat's headset going
Yeah!
crazy.
Fixed it.
There's a lot of background noise.
Oh. That was my fan. I was like, maybe I could turn that on. But nope! Too much background noise. I got a bigger fan and it makes a lot more noise than I was hopeful. But it's just going to have to be 90 degrees. That's fine. It has been all day, so I'll live. So,
Out on the hill, so I get a breeze. Yeah.
what happened while I was gone?
A really cool push from AL. They saw Orbit in the bot lane, but a big creep wave had built up top, so they actually pushed out mid, grabbed the top turret, and grabbed the mid turret as Orbit retreated to defend those turrets. They might have been able to base race, but I'm not too sure. I think with Corki and Jarvan, with the Jarvan flag, AL would win that base race.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell when exactly to base race. That's why there's such a rare occurrence, really. Absolute Legends looking for the moment like they're controlling movement around the map, though the gold lead is down substantially. Only 2,000 gold, unless I can't count.
Only about closer to 1,000.
Yeah, closer to 1,200. Yeah, I made it easy to do math.
I would like to see a Quicksilver Sash onto Corki at some point just to cleanse the Vladimir and Morgana ultimates. That would be huge if they didn't have to deal with that. They're going to try and catch someone here, though. Will he be successful?
Oh, they managed to get Nubby Pooh Bear off to the side. Naya maybe a little over-aggressive in this move, and gets a lot of damage put down. The Zhonya's ult, they're all going to get out of range of it, but they are all going to be forced to eat up that Vladimir ult. Naya just getting eaten apart right there. J-Pack going to get get a very nice ult off with the double kill, triple kill. Why not? Ian misses a flash over the wall, and J-Pack going to get away as Soraka picks up the kill on Corki of all people. Ian got hungry for that. He could smell Quadrupenta, but he couldn't lock it down.
It's like once he realized Soraka got the kill, I was like, whatever. Yeah. I don't need to go for J-Pack. But they might be able to win the game right now, actually. A 40-second between a 40-second wait for someone to come back up. And then Josh will be up a little earlier, but Josh doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah, unless J-Pack learns some serious karate between now and time the rest of everybody gets up. Mid inhib turret comes on. They got a Cannoneer minion too, so they're going to have plenty of quality time here. It's going to take all the CC in J-Pack's arsenal. He did just burn his ultimate, so it's going to be down to knockups. Nexus turret down. GGWP comes the call from the oRb side of things as they're convinced they've got it. Yeah, Josh is back up. Gonna have a hard time getting that done though, as the Nexus is now under attack. Can't even get across. Josh gonna get blown up. He lives though. That's the important thing.
He will live to fight another day. Jarvan, that might actually be LeBlanc. That's a weird lore thing. I still don't understand it.
It makes sense. Did you read all the lore?
No.
Because see, then the Swain, and then because of Noxus, you see. That's
you're putting me to sleep. And we just saw a good game of League of Legends. So that was Game 3 between Orbit Gaming and Absolute Legends. Absolute Legends not able to really take advantage of their early lead, and Orbit Gaming coming out ahead, going to progress into the losers bracket. And AL, you guys did okay. You didn't do the best though. Me and Orbit did take you guys out, and I mean, unfortunate, but quite a showing, especially for a new lineup. And Orbit, they did really well. They did take top 8 at MLG Anaheim.
Yeah, AL been playing together 2 weeks with the current lineup. That is I gotta say, an impressive play for 2 weeks of playing together. There's some slip ups here and there. In that case, they just couldn't get their team fights together. A lot of damage spent early on, and no real great lead-in damage. But really great play out of J-Pack there, man. He was consistent on Janna, and Janna very, very hard to make good use of those ults, but he certainly showed how to do it.